www.Toyratt.ca.
Tonight, folks, we got a treat for you. I have traded for one live. Lee here is going to talk about the Odyssey.
Hey, how you doing?
This is Lee, folks, live. He is a retro game collector who is into the Odyssey 2. And he has a collection that no amount of money you can offer him will he sell it. I have offered him in the thousands of dollars. And he will not even think of bringing it here. It is under lock and key, folks, in the vault of one Lee. And let me tell you, this man is very knowledgeable and he knows his video gaming. Lee, I'll let you introduce yourself. Talk to the world. We are live.
Hi guys, this is Lee. I'm here at the great Toyratt tonight to talk about a system that came out many years ago, and it was a very underrated system and it never really got the credit it was due.
How old is this system, Lee?
The Odyssey 2 came out in 1978 and it stayed on the market till about 1984, around the time of the game crash. And the system was made by Magnavox, the same company that released the Odyssey, which is the first ever video game console. And here Evo's just handing me an actual autographed picture from Wayne Gretzky.
Let me rephrase that, sorry Lee. It's a face smile autograph. Wayne Gretzky was a spokesperson for the Odyssey 2.
Right.
Can you flip that over, Lee?
There you go.
Look at that. There's more for you with the Odyssey 2. This, folks, is from the Sears Mutual Street.
Right.
It's an original advertisement that would hang in Sears Roebuck stores. There it is. You are looking at a piece of history.
The Odyssey 2 was probably, will go down in history as the #3 system of the time. It in its lifetime, it sold about 2 million units, but it was sold far less than obviously the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision. But it's kind of got a bit of a cult following, and the people who collect it are pretty diehard about it. And this is the actual unit here. And
what is this, Lee?
This is the console unit, and it had the thing that was interesting about the Odyssey 2 was it came with its own keyboard membrane, and it was utilized in a lot of the different games. Something that no other system at that time had, and kind of set it apart from all the rest of the systems that were out at that time. And as you can see, there's a cartridge inside, and the cartridge has a handle on it, which is definitely aesthetically different than the Atari or the Intellivision games at that time. So it was also unique in that aspect.
He's right, folks.
And
look at that.
Here you go. This is Speedway Spinout Cryptologic. This is the game that when you purchase the Odyssey 2 unit, this is the game that came with the system. It has 3 games in one, 2 of them are racing games, and Cryptologic is basically a version of the Hangman game that we all played as kids, and that's another game that utilized the keyboard. So this was the one that came with it, and a lot of Odyssey 2 games would come with 2 or 3 games on one cartridge.
This is history in the making.
Absolutely.
I have signed Lee for this video here. I have taken him out of retirement to talk about the Odyssey, folks.
Yes, and here you go. Here's some more great selection here at Toyratt of games. Another double cartridge with 2 games, Out of This World and Helicopter Rescue. He's got a few copies of that. Here's one. They also were released with the hard shell covers. This is Alien Invaders Plus, which is basically Odyssey's version of Space Invaders.
He is a book of knowledge. Cosmic
Conflict. And if you notice with these games, the artwork on the boxes is phenomenal, especially for its time, and the packaging is about as special as the whole unit and the games are themselves, because it was great artwork on the packaging.
Let me ask you this, Lee. The Toyratt is going to ask you, do these bring back memoirs?
Absolutely.
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 Why? Are you tied to these in any way or form?
Absolutely. When I was 7 years old, this was my first console in the 80s.
Look at that, folks.
My mom bought it for me, and she bought me a few games, and she even bought me the computer intro cartridge that came with it, so I could use it as a bit of a computer and get a little computer knowledge. They had a lot of sports titles. Here's baseball. Actually, a very good title for its time. This was one of the first releases for the Odyssey 2, baseball. Bowling basketball, another double cartridge.
Is it a double ender?
It's a double ender.
Whoa.
It's double-ended.
Double-ended fist.
There you go. Here you go. Armored Encounter, sorry, and Sub Chase. Another double cartridge.
Pull us out one. Show us
Sure.
one, Lee.
You can see.
Look, it with instructions.
With instructions. Here's the game again with handle. And like I said, the artwork is second to none when it comes to the Odyssey 2.
Look at that. A step-by-step intro how to play this game.
With custom artwork, all of it. And the interesting thing about the Odyssey 2, majority of the games for the Odyssey 2 were designed by one man. They had very few people designing the games, and a lot of the games have a lot of similarities to each other, and that's basically due to the fact that one man was designing it. Okay, then you had something come out in the early 80s. The Challenger series for the Odyssey 2. This is when Odyssey 2 started changing the games and starting to come out with more high quality games and games that were more reminiscent of what was out in the video arcades at the time. This is a Challenger series game, Pickaxe Pete, which is basically Odyssey 2's version of Donkey Kong. And this is a very famous game for the Odyssey 2, Casey Munchkin. This is the game where Odyssey 2 actually ended up in court in a lawsuit against Atari over this game. Atari claiming that it was a copyright infringement on their Pac-Man title.